New front in opioid abuse fight. James DeSantis recounted the horrors of watching a man he considered like an uncle die of the same batch of heroin-laced fentanyl that nearly killed him. In a twist of things, I was lucky to be alive because I had some level of tolerance. That's the only reason I'm standing here today, DeSantis said Tuesday during a news conference in the Schenectady County Chambers. In reality, it's the drug dealers playing God when they mess with stuff like this. DeSantis was joined by U.S. Senate Minority Leader Charles Schumer, who recalled a man sobbing in his arms because his son had died of an opioid overdose. Fentanyl and opioids affect poor people, middle-class people, rich people. It affects cities, it affects suburbs, it affects rural areas. It affects everybody, so all of America has an interest in getting this done, Schumer said. He was referring to a measure in the Judiciary Committee that makes use of sophisticated technology to detect incoming contraband with technology and then testing it to see if it's from the same bad batch. The measure, which has bipartisan support, calls for hiring more Border Patrol agents and scientists, Schumer said. Schumer said fentanyl is deadly and it's rearing its ugly head here in Schenectady County and throughout the Capital Region. He said the colorless and odorless drug is far more potent than morphine or heroin and that much of the opioid abuse comes from legitimate prescription drugs. Schumer said much of the illegal fentanyl comes from China and Mexico, where it is smuggled across the border. Sometimes it is shipped in the mail from overseas and drug peddlers mix it with heroin. The best way to stop it is to trace it from who's importing it and then the drug rings that bring it up here in the Capital Region, he said. Since 2010, deaths from opioid overdoses have more than tripled, Sheriff Dom D'Agostino said. He said the fight against the epidemic has to be fought on several fronts, including education, prevention, rehabilitation and law enforcement among others. District Attorney Robert Carney said his office in 2008 won a conviction against a heroin addict who gave 2 fentanyl patches to his girlfriend who later died. Stuart Rosenblatt, executive director of New Choices Recovery Center in Schenectady, said half of the patients they treat show signs of being addicted to opiates. Years ago, the big problem was alcohol, marijuana, and crack, he said. Rosenblatt said in a few months, the agency will be opening the first opioid treatment facility in Schenectady.